guys, it is Savannah and I am back for another video. This is going to be more of a story time video. So I just got back from Vidcon and a lot of things happened, so I want to share some of those best ones and funny and weird ones and super sketchy ones with you guys. So let's get started. So this first one is actually like so sad. I went to this party, I think the second night of Vidcon, and so I'm going with my friends and we go, there's a dance floor, it's live, it's hype, everyone's having like this amazing time, good vibes, couldn't be better. And then out of nowhere this DJ like turns off the music and we're like, what's going on? Like, did someone pull a plug? Like, what's going on? Like, is the party getting shut down? Like, we didn't know. Then like this guy comes on stage, right? And he like grabs the mic and just out of nowhere starts singing this.
But you know what? It is not your best dish.
Sweet potato casserole, casserole, casserole. Yeah. Sweet potato casserole, casserole. Give me brown sugar.
Awkward thing ever. We're like, okay, what is happening? No one was feeling it. Everyone was just kind of like sitting there, and then out of nowhere people just started like booing him, like trying to boo them off the stage. And you know, you see that kind of thing in movies. You don't see that in real life. Like, no one gets booed off stage in real life. Like, no, that's just something that happens in like something like Mean Girls. So then that happened, and then out of nowhere people started throwing everything they could find. Like the nearest thing they could find, they were just throwing it at him. Like people were throwing ice and like all this kind of stuff, and I was just, it was so incredibly awkward. So I'm just like sitting here like so nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what do we do? And so the guy jumps off the stage and goes to the kid who was like throwing this stuff, like the main guy who was throwing this stuff at him, and starts like talking all this trash and like telling him to stop and how disrespectful he was and all this kind of stuff. And then the security come and take like these kids out. I don't know if they got like arrested. I don't know if they just got escorted out. Like it seemed like a big deal though, because they like made them put their hands behind their back. So it was super scary. And then everyone just kind of like took a breather after what they just witnessed. And then the DJs kind of like awkwardly like walked back on stage and everyone's like, yeah. Definitely one of the weirdest party experiences I've ever had. Everyone knows Jacob Sartorius. He was there and he was supposed to be performing, I think at the Musically booth. It was one of the stages. His performance actually got shut down because the girls were so crazy, which I thought to me was like so fun. I'm like, girls were going so insane for this kid. Like he couldn't even perform. They had to shut it down because it was like so not safe for him. He had to stay up in his room pretty much all of VidCon, like couldn't even leave just because like he would get attacked, which I thought was like super sad. So if any of you didn't get to meet Jacob and you were there, that is the reason. And some of you might have noticed that I colored my hair. I just want to do something different, you know, for VidCon, but you know, this actually ended up being a mistake. It was such a bad idea. So I go to VidCon and I'm like, oh, like so many people are gonna be like, oh, like love your hair, like you're so cool, like how did you do it? No, these girls were like, oh my gosh, it's Kylie. And I'm like, these girls like actually like figured that Kylie was at VidCon. And so I was like, I halfway like would have to like halfway sprint, and like these heels just kind of like running around the place, like trying to get into places before like a whole band of people came. And so that was hilarious. So like, because like this one day I had on these sunglasses and this hat, and so it looked like I was in a disguise and I had this hair peeking out, so everyone like just assumed it was Kylie. And so like I had people like screaming like to give them a lip kit and like all this funny stuff. It was actually really hilarious, but it was kind of just like, oh shoot, that was a fun experience. I'm almost done, I swear. Okay, this one is super, super creepy. I had never been more freaked out before in my life. I was on the corner with one of my friends. We were just waiting on an Uber to come get us. It was late, and we were just gonna go back to a hotel and just kind of chill. But guys, like keep in mind, it was super late. The official VidCon parties, those were over. People were just hanging out, you know, before everyone starts leaving in hotel rooms and lobbies and everything. So keep in mind, this was like super late. Like it was one of those bad times of the night. Like, you know that saying, nothing good happens after 12? Nothing good happens after 12. Dark, and you just kind of see like a dark figure like coming closer to you from across the street. And so I was like, this is really creepy. And so I was like, whatever, it's just probably someone passing. Well, it turns out they start walking like this. He comes up to me and my friend, and then this is the part when I kind of like start like scooting behind my friend, my guy friend, like, hey buddy. It's like, I'm just like, I'm holding him like this on the arm, like, cause I'm like, at this point, like, this guy's gonna like try to mug us, he's gonna pull out a gun, like something's about to happen. And so he comes up to him and like looks him in the eye and he goes, I got some really good meth down the street if you guys wanna come join. You know, it wasn't like, hey, here's like a can of beer. No, it was like, I have meth. Like, oh no thanks, like we're tired, you know, we're gonna head back to the room, you know what I mean? It's like 4 in the morning. He's like, oh yeah, no problem. But like before I go, pulls out of his pocket, I got some of this. It's weed. And so of course we're like, no, like that's good, like thanks, like you keep it, man, like thanks for the offer, we're good. And so he's like, are you sure? We're like, yeah, no, you good, fam. And he's like, all right, sticks it back in his pocket and then hobbles off. And we were like, looked at each other like, and then like before all that happened too, there was like this Uber driver who like came over to us like 3 different times. Well, I thought it was an Uber driver. Came over to us 3 different times. The first time was like, oh, like, the first time was more of like a, yeah, no, we're not the people you're looking for. They're probably down that way, more towards the convention. It's like, oh, okay, thank you. But then he circles around again. We're like, no, we're still not, you're not our Uber, like ours is in a different car. And he was like, oh, okay, cool. Comes around the 3rd time. And by this time I'm like, okay, like this guy is gonna like put a cloth over our faces and like put us in the back of his trunk, like this is so sketchy. Screaming like, no, like you are not our Uber, go away, like this is no, not safe, stranger danger, go away. Like, I'm like, what is happening? Like this all happened in the course of like 10 minutes. I'm like, I am in Anaheim. Disneyland is 2 blocks away. Like what is this? Like what is happening? I am in a safe environment. This is not supposed to be happening. Moral of the story, do not stay out that late. That was a bad idea, but you know, we were hanging with some friends. We don't really get to see a whole lot, so like we didn't want to us, you know, go to bed super early, and because they all had flights the next day, which was also a bad idea. This point is not coming across very well. So thank you all so much for watching my sketchy VidCon stories. I know they were really weird, but thank you guys so much for sticking all the way through this whole video. I love you guys, and make sure to check out my Instagram. It is here, and my Musical.ly, that is here. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all for another sketchy video next week.